Hi, everybody. This is James from Prague. How are you? Nice to be with you today, Monday, for SoulCARE. It's really interesting that we're close to the end of the year. How fast this year went, right? As we always say. So, welcome, everybody. Hope you had a great morning, evening, wherever you are, and that you're having a great time and believing in yourself and loving yourself and just living every moment as they come, because that's what we're supposed to do. Just observe every moment and just see what happens. Magic if you let it. I was in my garden this morning walking my Maisie May, my doggy May. She's out. Oh, she's passed out. She loves sleeping. We sleep a lot. And I just love walking my garden is like a walking meditation. So next year, part of my plan for next year is to bring that more to you guys, for you to see that, for you to be part of that garden, because it's a walking meditation. And I spent 3 years, 4 years developing it. So I want to share it with people that would care for it and get something from it. It's how I get nurtured and my soul just becomes alive again. And so I'm there a lot. And I took a picture this morning that Renee's going to show in just a little bit. A friend of mine, my friend Chris, has visited me. And she took this photo of me. And I rarely like photos of me, but I like this one. And it's of well, I create gardens. I'm fortunate to have some space to create some different gardens here. And it had an interesting challenge because I was in a situation where there was like this slope, and I wanted to make something from it because it was just calling for that. So I made, I call it the Robinson Crusoe landing. It's kind of two decks, and it's there's rope, and it's a place to sit down. It's a platform down to relax and take everything in. So I'll show you that to you in a little bit. But next year I'm going to do more of that, more bringing that to you. Oops. And I'm also going to be doing a lot more social platforming network stuff. I'm thinking of doing TikTok. What do you guys think? Should I do TikTok? I'll listen to you guys. You have a butterfly garden, Laura. I'd love a butterfly garden. Where can you have a butterfly garden? Where do you live? Sarasota. Hi, Rochelle. Patricia. I'm doing great. Butterfly garden. Doesn't that sound great? Oh, now you got me thinking. Butterfly garden. I do have a plant hospital. Isn't that wild? It's just it's next to a shed. Just a little thing that plants there to nurture them. Oh, there we are. So there we are. Thanks, Renee. So that's me this morning in my garden. That I built. Well, I didn't build it. I planned that whole thing with the wood. I did stain all that wood myself. And do you like that? That's Robinson Crusoe garden, I call it, because of the ropes. It just reminded me of that, or Noah's Ark, but I thought Robinson Crusoe better. And it's one chair and an umbrella. And you look out to the garden. There's a lower garden I have there, just a little backyard. And it's really nice because the sunset's over there beyond the house. You can see the sunset. It's just a nice place to meditate. So I wanted to share that with you. And I like that picture of me. And I rarely like pictures of me. But that's one of my gardens there. Just finished this one. And I'm working on a Hawaiian garden now, which I almost completed. Show that to you. But I thought it'd be great to do stuff from the garden too, and do these calls also from the garden. Thank you. Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc was one of the saints that I resonated with the most when I was a kid. And I read her for my Catholic school upbringing. We had to study on a saint, and I chose Joan of Arc. And I felt like I lived that lifetime. I'm very happy in my place. I think we all should be happy in our places. We have to make our atmosphere place that nurture us. I really do believe that, because the world is not always easy. It's hard. It's a hard place and difficult sometimes. So I think your home should be your respite. So that's why I make it. Hi, Phyllis Walsh. Yes, Phyllis, I'm sorry to hear about your mom. I talked to Gabrielle. Yes, I know. I'm sorry to hear for you, sweetheart. I know that she's been better. She's just happier. Your mom to be back part of life again. Yeah, that's my website, vanprog.com. Also, for those who want to know more, we've been looking into this for some people that they want to know how to see my show that's on tonight, Monday night. If you have not seen it, Both Sides Down and Beyond. It's at 6:00 Pacific time. That's 2:00 European time, I know. And every Monday we do different topics. Tonight we're doing mantras. And Renee, our host, our producer here, is a specialist in mantras, and he's going to help us tonight with mantras. That'll be tonight. There you go. That's for tonight. Yeah, but they are how to use them. Yes. Yeah, when you find people online, it's like-minded people, isn't it? That's why I like these communities we have here at SoulCARE and my school, because it's a community that was built. So I really love that. Um, Also, my YouTube channel is getting a lot of notice right now. So if you don't know my YouTube channel, I'm going to put the address here in the box in the comments, because I have a great YouTube channel that Ryan Brown is working on, a friend of mine who's going to help me with social media even more in the future here next year. But it's a really great place to see everything I've done, including my Beyond show. Every single episode, well, mostly everything. I think probably 110 episodes of Beyond. It's on the YouTube channel. You can see the whole thing. I look a little different. I'm younger, but really a lot of different things. A lot of TV shows I've been a guest on. A lot of my classes, different appearances. You'll enjoy that. So my YouTube, there it is, James Iron Prague YouTube. If you want to copy it, or you can also go on YouTube and put my name in. Okay. On last week's show, we had on Both Sides Down Beyond was the most popular show we've ever had in 2 years, and that was on the physical mediumship of Leslie Flint. So I'm sure a lot of you were on that show. It was really incredible. I hope you've looked Leslie Flint up. And he was a physical medium, for those who don't know, and Leslae Flint, Flynt. He is the last physical medium that I know of, at least that caliber, where ectoplasm would come out of his ear and his mouth and his nostrils, and they create a voice box, and spirit would speak through the voice box. So that's something, and they have actually research scientists studied him for over 20 years, and they have recordings of actual voices of Oscar Wilde, Queen Victoria, Ruta Valentino, and many others speaking through that mediumship. So definitely check out Leslie Flint if you haven't yet. Okay. So today is the day which I want to just open up to you to ask general questions that you'd like to ask me. Every once in a while, I do that maybe once a month. I like to ask you if you'd like to ask me some general questions. I can't answer specific questions as far as how my sister just passed, my father just passed. But saying that, I want you all to know that next year in January, starting January, I believe, or starting January, I'm going to be doing 2 demonstrations a month for mediumship, and 2 evenings of psychic readings a month. So that's 4 different evenings. So we're going to do that because people want more of that. So I listen to what people want. So I'm going to do 4 of those every month. So 2 psychic nights and 2 mediumship nights. So you'll hear all about that. All right. Okay. So questions. Oh, thanks, Renee. Patricia Stanko, I'm James. I'm concerned, okay, about my near future. Been on a few job interviews. I have 2 interviews this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. First interview. Oh, there you go. Okay. The first is for a service assistant. The other one is a service at Northwell in Bayshore, New York. I really need a miracle, hopefully a job before Christmas. Okay, so, well, Patricia, number one, I would say, concern. You can be concerned, but don't put any fear energy into it, and just know exactly what you want. Know what you want, and you'll get it. But sometimes when we put fear in there, oh God, I hope I get it. It kind of hesitates the flow. I really believe that we get what we're meant to get. I think you'll get what you're meant to get. I don't know if it'll be these jobs or not, but you'll get something. So, we're always taken care of, sweetheart. Don't ever get to that space to think you're not being looked after. We're never thrown down this earth alone. So your guides, your loved ones, will guide you if you would just let yourself be open to whatever happens, whatever changes in your life. Just go with it, knowing that you're going to get the best thing for you. Just put that out there, knowing you'll receive the best possible thing, and it's a perfect time astrologically for you to get something new. So you will. So with that, the thought, that mindset of I'm going to get something that fulfills me in every way I need. That's the way you should look at it. Okay. Okay. Good. Monica Perez, why do I see people that are deceased all at once? Well, Monica, you're probably mediumistic. You're probably a bit clairvoyant, and that's probably getting to you. Because remember that the spirit people want us to know that they're around. There's no death, that they're alive. So they'll try any way they can to get through it, any medium they can. So if you want to, if you choose to, you should develop your mediumship. That would help a lot of people. But that's up to you. That's why. Sandra K, trainer, I'm going to be opening my Reiki and psychic room back up. Is it a good time? Yes, very good time to do that. So, as Kelly White will talk about tonight, and she did last week, this is a really good time for new beginnings. So, very, very good time for new beginnings. So, very good. After December 10th. Hi, Randy. Good to see you again. Please do consider doing a show with the sound healer. Oh, that's great. I've been exploring crystal singing bowls. Okay, let me write that down. It's a great one. There's actually right where I live, there is a crystal bowl place. You buy crystal bowls here in San Diego. It's like the number one place. So I can ask them about that. That's a great suggestion. Thanks, Rainey. I will do that. Let me write it down. Sound healing. I love sound. Sound baths are incredible. I had one in Costa Rica once. It was just amazing. Sound healing. Okay, honey. Thank you. Will do. Dan, I have had experience with ETs, aliens, this childhood. What's this about? What's this about? Well, Dan, you're probably part ET. Um, we're not alone here. There are many, many life forms around us all the time, a different frequency, vibration. I don't know. Part of us is part of that too. I think we're all part of each other. I think that's human beings are not just in one little box. We're part of everything. So I remember I was developing my mediumship in the development circle. I see what we would call aliens or ETs or whatever, higher evolved beings, I'd say. So I think many of them are very highly evolved beings. I think that's what that is. I really don't go into the whole fear aspect of them. I think it's quite the opposite. I mentioned this story once before, and for your sake, I'll say it again. In Sedona, I brought a group of people there many, many years ago, and because that's the place you see a lot of UFO activity there, because the copper mines in the grounds and the ore. And we went to the top of Boynton Canyon. It's a vortex there, female, male vortex. And we meditated and prayed. And then we started seeing lights in the sky, all these different lights, and hard way to describe it. And a man that was helping us said, James, can you get some information? I said, I'll try. So I walked out to this field and I opened myself up, my chakra points, I expanded my awareness. And I was very, very aware, first of all, of this energy that was trying, this immense energy was trying to limit its immenseness in very simplistic ways, like putting a 777 into the head of a needle. And I remember I heard, we are of the Pleiades, and we do not understand one thing. You human beings have the energy of love all around you, yet you don't use it. Why is that? And that's all they said. Very interesting. Okay. Sonia Morgan. Hi, Sonia. Why is it so important to wait to get a reading soon after someone has passed? Why is it so important? I don't know if it's so important, Sonia, but just think of it this way, that they're in a newer surrounding, if you will. Maybe they've spent a long time here on the earth, but maybe just their mindset is of the physical human. And so when you're putting them into an ethereal world, a mental world, which has different laws, different ways of doing things, and they're just getting their feet wet, if you will, to ask them to come back into this heavy, dense vibration when they're just been freed of that. I think that's in some way kind of disrespectful to them. Only because, sweetheart, it takes a lot of energy to give a reading, to give a message through. Sometimes it takes a lot of energy, and they're not sure yet how to do it. They're building up their prana, their life force, which was expelled when they left the body. So they have to build that back up when they come back down. So it depends on the conditions that they passed with and the conditions they find themselves. And so there are a lot of conditions involved. As a general rule, I say to people that I wouldn't do a reading for 3 months because it gives them an acclimation time. They need to acclimate to the new environment. Saying that, spirit has come back very quickly. I've had a lady come back literally to a girl in the audience once. And I said, your mother's here? She goes, she's not here. She's alive. I said, no, she's here. And she passed from the time the girl left her house to come to the demonstration. So they can come back quickly, but to call on them to do that is a little difficult, I think. It's disrespectful to me, I just think, to them. Okay. Gretchen. Hi, Gretchen. Hi, James. Do you think the older we get, the more tuned in we get to our gifts? That's very interesting. I do believe this aspect of that from when we're born, the very beginning of our time on this human vibration. I think that we're very open because our mindset, we've just come from that vibration, that dimension. So our points of view, our perspective is very much of that world. And I think as we get older, I do believe that our souls, and I'm not an expert here, so I don't know if physically things happen in the body or the brain, the mind, and physiologically things start happening. But I do think it's easier as you get older, you get more simple in life. And I think I know from being when I turned 60, I look back at my life, things that I thought were important are not anymore. You value things differently. I'm not afraid of death at all. I look forward to when that happens, but I know I have work to do. So I do think yeah, you've been through a lot of stuff, and I think you get to know yourself more too. The older you get, so you can trust yourself more now. You trust that little gut within. So yeah, I do believe that. Okay. Hi, Diane. I went through a time when I would have many psychic experiences, but for the last 2 years, nothing. What causes these blockages? Diane, I would just say what's going on in your life. What do you hold to yourself? Where's your mind? What's been going on? Emotionally, is there some holding on? What walls have been built up? What's been going on with you? Basically, that's really it. There's no reason why you just can't close your mind, your eyes, and still yourself, and sit in the stillness of your being, right? And begin to get back to that power of yourself, that loving self, that spiritual aspect of self, your soul's voice again. I think that's what you need. That just takes time and patience and with yourself. So, it depends on all the aspects of your life that's going on. Okay. But take time for yourself. Lisa Parsons, any advice on what to expect for the new year? Oh, that's a good question. I will do that with Kelly White. Maybe we'll do a show about the new year. I don't know. For me personally, I could just say, I don't know about the world, but I have a great feeling about great things next year for myself personally. I don't know, but it feels like things are on the edge of something big happening. So I can say, um, I don't know. I just don't know I don't know about the world per se. Things that feel very divided. I don't know what's going to happen. But I'll talk to Kelly. Maybe we'll do a show in the new year. Good. Okay. Thanks. Okay, Anne, and I want you to redo your profile picture, and I want you to smile because it's such a beautiful smile and beautiful eyes and beautiful energy. And I look at you, you look sad in that picture, so I want you to change that because I want you to be the best you can. Because my dad passed 2.5 years ago, I had not felt the energy to do readings for people. Oh, okay. I sort of feel like I would start again in 2022. Okay, but then I got COVID. So not only am I spiritually exhausted, physically exhausted. Well, you're more than COVID. You're more than that. Again, same thing about the last response I had was to now is a time, and in the Bible it talks about Jesus, the Master, going into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. Many times, people that do spiritual work need a respite time. And maybe that COVID thing was just to remind you that you need rest to take care of your lovely self. You got to do that. The 28 energy cleanse in my school, you should do that. The 28 transformation, do that. You should try and look in there. Time to take care of yourself. So this is a time for you to go into the quiet, into the stillness of your being. As I talk about every week, I sit in the closet and I just sit in the quietly with my breath and begin to connect with my soul self. And it's amazing what happens. I think also, Anne, you've been giving out a lot. You got to stop giving so much. You got to start receiving. You're worth it. Okay. Okay. Street Tales, India. I was just reading some of India last night. Love India. I'm Pearl from India. Hello, Pearl. Nice to meet you. Can you please tell me if I'm a medium or not? I'm confused. Well, Pearl, I don't know you, so I can't see you, so I can't really tell if you're a medium. I will tell you this, just generally speaking, everybody's a medium to some degree. Just like the analogy I use that everybody has the ability to play the piano, but not everybody's a concert pianist. So it's like that. So the more you study, the more you read up on the subject matter, and the more you do exercises or start practicing, then you can see if it works for you, if that makes sense to you, if it resonates with you, or if it doesn't. Or maybe you're just very psychic. So that's for your journey. That's your personal journey to discover. Good luck. Yeah. Yes. Shar Downey Jr. Hi, Shar. Lovely. Can a soul reincarnate here and be on the other side at the same time? Yes, we are. I often say, and people have heard me say this, that this physical body is it's a big toe to your soul. Only about 30%, I say, of the soul is in here. 70% is outside the body. So we're much more than just, this is a big toe to the soul. There's so much more on other levels right now, experiencing other lifetimes, other realities than just this physical one. This is the three-dimensional physical one, the big toe, the foot. Imagine that you're a soul your feet are stepping on your shoulders, and you go all the way up. It's more like what it's like. So we're more out here than in here. Cool, right? Good question. Paula, my energy levels have been so low lately. Would meditation help? 100%, Paula. Again, sitting quietly within the space. But the Paula, what the problem is, you need to make time for yourself to do that. You can't be so busy. A lot of people get so busy in life. They fill their lives up with a lot of busy things to do, activities. And in some ways, I think it's because they don't want to look at themselves. They don't want to take the time to go within and be with themselves in that quiet. And I think that's something you need to do, Paul. I think you need to really quiet down and go within. Okay. And then, we talk about energy levels. Well, that could be many things, but who's in your life that's pulling your energy? Who's in your life that's not supporting you? We need people to enable us, not disable us. Okay. Vivian Nation. Hi, James. I'm a clairvoyant looking into your school. Good. You should, Vivian. You should look at my school. Great course there. You should look at the Psychic Portals course. It'd be perfect for you. That's a good one. Or the Psychic Certification, actually. Because you're clairvoyant, the Psychic Certification would be a very good start for you. Okay. Enjoy it. Enjoy the school. My school's great. It really is a great place. It's a great space for people to go to explore, discover. I tried to make it. It's really funny. I tried to make it an updated, contemporary version of when I used to go to, when I first moved to Los Angeles back in 84, I believe, or 82. I used to go to a bookstore called the Bodhi Tree in Los Angeles, the nicest, biggest New Age bookstore. And I didn't know really what it was. And I used to sit every weekend and find a certain section of the bookstore and sit there and read about every different subject you can imagine, from esoteric studies to UFOs to out-of-body experiences to psychic phenomena. So that's how I did it. So the school, in a way, is kind of like, I wanted that to kind of reflect the different subjects that people find fascinating and interesting, and to really study them and get involved in them. And it's just like reading a book, looking at the course, taking some courses. If you love it, it works for you, it feeds your soul. It helps you to evolve, helps your expansion of self and your perspective of yourself and the world you live in. Okay. JP School of Mystical Arts. Okay. Sullivan Eugene. Why do I see my deceased relatives in dreams and see shapes, colors, and visions when I meditate? Is it clairvoyance? If so, how do I develop this ability? Well, Sullivan, really what you want to do is, number one, the number one way that spirits communicate is in the dream state, because we're not in the physical body per se. Our soul is kind of in the other dimension. So where they live is they call the astral world. So we leave our body every night we go to sleep. The soul leaves, a remainder of the soul. It's and the physical kind of leaves out of the top of the head, which is known as the crown chakra. And sometimes we're just about to leave and we're just like falling asleep, which means you're leaving your body, and you shake and you wake up again because you're not leaving, your soul is not leaving the correct axis. So it comes back in. So that's what that is. So that's why you see dreams. And sounds like you're very clairvoyant. It really does. So again, another person to study clairvoyance, Psychic Portals would be perfect for you. That's a great good beginning course for you to explore. And something very interesting, Sullivan and everybody else, I find when you start taking certain courses like that, once you start taking, like, wow, it's like a book you might read. I know this stuff deep down within me, that in my soul, there's a wisdom. I recognize this. That happened to me when I read the book Out on a Limb by Shirley MacLaine. I was reading that book Out on a Limb when I was working at a company. And during my breaks, I'd read it. And these words were just like, I know this stuff. I feel this. I know all this. And it was just so real for me. That is the one book that really got me on my path, Out on a Limb. So that really helped me. And then how the intelligence of the spirit world is so amazing and incredible. Obviously, I was supposed to do this work, obviously, but I didn't know that I related so much to what Shirley MacLaine was going through. And I went to Brian Hurst, my teacher, for a reading. And she was she was on the cover of a magazine at the time. I just had it with me. And he said, the spirit world is telling me that you keep on continuing your work and your interest in metaphysics, and you're going to meet her one day. And sure enough, it happens. And it happened in a very strange way. We both are the same agents. But before that, I read Out on a Limb, and I was working for a producer, and I was going to do celebrity garage sales for benefit for this People for the American Way, helping intolerance, religious intolerance. And I had a list of a lot of celebrities' addresses. And I thought, I shouldn't do this, but I have to do this. After I read Out on a Limb, I wrote her a thank you card. And literally, Christmas Eve, I received a card from her. And this is before I was known for anything. And she said, "Dear James, thank you for your thoughts and how happy holidays in your own world of cherries." I still have the card. And that was amazing to me that she did that, considering. And then years later, we had the same agent, and I got to meet her. And not only that, I went to visit her for the first time in Santa Fe, New Mexico, where she had a condominium, and it was for sale. And I ended up buying it that same night. What's that about? Right? So it's weird how things work out. And we're good friends to this day. Okay, more questions. Connie DeFranco, how do you overcome the fear of death, James? Thank you. Connie, I just think it's the unknown for most people because they haven't gone through it. And a lot of people want to control things and they feel like they can't control death. We die every day. There are cells that die in the body every day. Death is a part of life. It's an evolution. There's nothing that, why, I don't know. Nothing's painful about death. Nothing in the least. It's the opposite. The spirit people prepare for us to come home. There's a reception. They prepare for us months or years in advance. And it's natural. It's our home. This is not our home. This is our school. So are you afraid to go to sleep every night? Because that you do the same thing, but you're unconscious. That's why you sleep, but you're conscious. No one should fear death at all. And that's why I suggest you listen to those Leslie Flint tapes. So the Leslie Flint Foundation, you should go online, look up Leslie Flint, and you'll hear recordings of people who are afraid of death. And they come back and they talk about, oh, no one should fear death. It's a very natural thing. And you should listen to that, Leslie Flint tapes. Everybody should. It's amazing. And I've had, gosh, how many, maybe, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of readings and connections and incredible evidence of life after death. And you can't kill energy. So I think, I don't know, living here is a hard place, hard school, but graduation is incredible. Okay. So learn more, Connie. Get into it. Evelyn Revis, I'm thinking of starting intuitive training. Is that right for me? Yes, Evelyn, I think it'd be great for you. Again, I think the psychic portals would be very good for you to begin with, starting a good grounding course. And I have good, I have integrity, and I wouldn't say it's there for you. I think you'd do really well with it. The only issue, Evelyn, is from your face. I see it. You're very hard on yourself. So we first got to get you back to loving self and just surrendering to yourself and not being in your head so much. So it's a matter of being in your heart, not in your head. And a lot of people have that difficulty at first because we're so used to programming from the head point of view, because as children, we're told we have to mentally use ourselves, mentally get to the top of our classes and do the best you can, scholastically, if you will. And so we get all this stuff in our head and we forget about the heart. And really, it's our heart, who we are. So try to live heart first. And the head holds all that stuff, old stuff too. So it's just a matter of getting from the head to the heart. But psychic portals would be a good start for you, my love. Okay. Sarah Marie Hogg, I feel like I'm going through a spiritual transition. Everybody is right now. It's a major transformation right now on the planet. Major right now. We're in eclipse season. You have all these planets, Neptune and Kelly White knows more than I do, right, Kelly? But it's a major time right now for a major transformation for everybody. My kids always keep me busy, and now they don't as much. I am left with all my feelings from painful childhood, trauma. I feel like I am purging so much. Could this be due to spiritual shift? 100%, Sarah. Good for you. Yes, and the first step of healing is awareness. So all that stuff from the past, trauma, it's about forgiveness. It's a great medicine. So now it's time to forgive yourself, forgive others who you thought did you wrong. There's always a reason behind that. Okay. Yes, okay. Any in-person meetings? Oh, yes. I'll be doing April. In April, I'll be in Peekskill, New York, I'll be doing a demonstration in person. And I will be doing next year a couple of mediums from England, Lynn Probert. We're going to be doing a week's worth of a workshop, and also Gordon Smith, top medium in England, Scotland. He's coming over also in August. So August and October, and then I'll be doing some more in stuff. No private readings per se, but I do have people on my website that do them, practitioners, and also my students. Some of my students there are also, they're incredible medium 3 students. So you can find them there. Well, I hope you join me tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in here. And I hope you join me tonight for Both Sides Now and Beyond. with Kelly White, my good friend, and Renee. We'll talk about mantras and everything you need to know about mantras. So there it is, both sides now beyond 6 p.m. And very good show. And it can help you in all of your life. I think it's really interesting to hear what Renee has to say about it. Okay, we'll see you then. And God bless you all. Good luck. Bye-bye now.